This is Interesting Humans Podcast. My name is Jeff Hopek, your host, where we go past the highlight reel and into the moments that actually shape a life. The struggles, the mistakes, the pivots, because the real lessons aren't found in success. They're found in everything you took to get there. Hi everyone, I'm Jeff Hopek, your host. Quick note before we get started. This episode originally aired on my former podcast called 20-Minute MBA, where I interviewed high-level operators using the same 4-question format. Now I'm bringing the best of those conversations into Interesting Humans Podcast as bonus episodes, so everything lives in one place. Today's guest is Dennis Smith, the founding member and band leader of America's #1 corporate and private party band. And what he's learned about leadership, performance, and building something people just cannot stop talking about. Let's dive in. All right, folks, welcome to another episode here. I have Dennis Smith with me today, original founder of Party on the Moon Band, amongst so many other cool things we're going to talk about today. It's a podcast where I ask the same 4 questions to people out there just doing incredible stuff in the business world. So the first is, for 5 minutes, unpack your journey. We always think it's linear, but it's got a lot of ins and out, twists and turns. Second question, single best piece of advice you ever got. Third question, what is the biggest mistake you ever made? And then lastly, I want to hear from you, Dennis. What is the life lesson that you want to pass along? So I'm going to try to do this justice because it's truly remarkable what you built. And I'll never forget you explaining how everybody said no. You're crazy. 14-piece bands don't make it. They're not going to be a thing. And you took that advice, but you didn't completely listen to it. You went your own way and forged something that is so special and so unique. And you mentioned you're playing with Kenny Chesney. You've played in front of and with Blake Shelton, and the list goes on and on and on. So Brooks and Dunn, I think you said too, right?
Sure, yeah.
Just incredible. So let's get right into it. What was that journey like for you?
You know, when I was 11 years old, I was riding my bicycle in my neighborhood, and I heard in the distance a rock band. Mm-hmm. First time I'd ever heard of it. I've never been to a rock concert. I'd only heard electric guitars and drums on TV, okay? And I'm hearing this sound, and I'm drawn to it like a moth to flame. Wow. So I drive up to the house, I knock on the door, I wait for the music to stop, I knock on the door, and a teenager comes to the door. He's 16 or 17, and I said, "Can I come in and listen?" He's looking down at me, and he said, "Sure you can." So I come in, I sit down, and in the room, it's probably about the size of this studio, is 2 guitar players, a bass player, a drummer, and a singer. And they've got electric guitars and amps and drums, and I was blown away. And what they were doing was I think, a Yardbird song. And they put the record on the little 45, and they sat around the room, and they listened to it. Right? And then they chatted about it for a second. Well, I think that's an E chord. Or, check out the way they went into the bridge. And so I'm watching this, right? And then they played it. And it got closer to the vision that they were trying to create, which they wanted to sound like the record. Sure. And so I watched them do this, and it just blew me away. And the thing about it that looking back on it, right now, what I realized is I was seeing the creative process unfold in front of me in the real time. That they had current reality, which was the record. Sure. And they had their vision of what they wanted it to sound like. And they were taking action steps, working together in harmony for the same goal. Yeah. And at the end of the rehearsal, the band leader says, "Well, I want you to be here Friday. You got to be here Friday night at 6 o'clock. Dad's going to load up all the equipment in the pickup truck. He's going to take us down to the high school gym, and we'll be ready to play after the football game." Wow. And the pay is, I can't remember, $150, whatever it was. Yeah. And I'm watching all this as an 11-year-old going, "Holy shit, man, what is this?" And the thing that attracted to me, musically, I thought it was great.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing that attracted me about it was the power of the collective collaboration. You know, when Christ said this, where two or more are gathered, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you see it all through everything, but I was seeing it in real time.
Yeah. Wow.
So I left there and I decided two things. I wanted to do that, right? And it could have been, you know, working on cars, or it could have been woodworking.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
what I wanted was that experience
Yeah.
and that creative power. So when I left there, I went, I want to learn how to do this. So I wanted to learn the creative process. I want to figure this out.
Yeah. Sure.
And I want to create something of value. Because what these guys did was they worked together and they created something that was valuable enough for people to pay them.
To pay to see it.
I
right?
went,
wow.
really, dude?
Wow.
This is great.
It's cool.
So I started playing in a band. I started as a drummer, then I switched to guitar, and then I started a band, and I had record deals and publishing deals, and, you know, none of that, you know, I didn't become a rock star.
Mm-hmm.
And then I decided that I was going to put together the best party event band in the world, and everybody, as you said it was a bad idea.
Yeah.
But I used those, so I'm doing now what I saw those guys did when I was 11, which is I gathered a group of people together,
Yeah.
and we all wanted the same thing. We all agreed that we wanted the same thing, and I lead the band. I decide what it's going to be. Of course, I take input.
Sure.
And so I learned how to create, and I learned how to work together with people, and that was so I'm here, and I'm really I feel really fortunate that one event
Yeah.
opened
sure.
up a whole new world for me that up until that time did not exist.
Advice. So you've had all these business ups and downs through the years learning. I would imagine you've had incredible advice and not so good advice. What do you think is the best piece of advice you ever got?
The best piece of advice I ever got was a good friend of mine recommended that I read this book. He said, I want you to read this book, because I've always been about learning and exploring and everything. And he said, I want you to read this book. It's by a guy named Robert Fritz. The name of the book is The Path of Least Resistance. Sure, I'll read the path. So I read it, and I was blown away, because what it was about was how the creative process works, and developing the skill of the creative process, right? And using current reality and vision, and how to navigate that structure. Okay, so his concept is all around structure. You know, and structure gives rise to behavior, but structure is the thing, whether it's a movie or a piece of music or a photography. These guys are master structuralists, the people that are good at it. And so I read the book, and then I saw that he had creating workshop. It was like 5 weeks,
Wow.
1 day a week, right? So I said, well, I'm going to take this. This is going to help my music a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
So I took the course, and it was a game changer for me. Because what I learned is that to create was a skill, not a mindset or a belief system. It was a skill. Right. But so I went into it thinking, well, I'm going to learn about music, because Robert's background, he's a composer, he's a filmmaker, he's a world-renowned author. But what I learned is I could take the same concepts and create my relationships, money, work, family, and it changed everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
And to the basics of it are, you've got the vision, and you've got current reality as relates to that vision. like let's say I weigh 200 pounds. That's what I weigh, and I want to weigh 150. That creates a tension, right? And it's physics. It's not belief. There's a difference between where you are and where you want to go that sets up a tension resolution system, right? And Carson and I, my son, were playing golf the other day, right? And people are attracted to structure, like great movies, right? Great music, right? Sure. And the masters know how to structure, and that's what I was learning. And Carson and I went golfing the other day, and I said, the thing about golf that's so great, it's the ultimate tension resolution system at play, right? Now think about it. You're on the tee. Your vision is to go 400 yards, whatever it is.
Oh, that's cool.
And you're taking action,
yeah,
right? And you hit over here. So now current reality has changed. You're closer than you were. Hopefully you were. Sometimes you're farther away, in my case. And you develop your skill.
Yeah.
And then you put the ball in, and that's the resolution of the tension.
Sure.
It's almost like if I took a rubber band, it resolved itself, and then we go to hole number 2, and now we do the same thing. The biggest mistake it wasn't. My biggest regret was I wish that I had learned earlier how to separate. Not how to separate, but the truth that what I create is not a reflection of who I am. They're totally different.
You mean music-wise?
Anything.
Anything.
What we create is separate from what it says about us. It's not about our identity.
Wow. Okay.
Right? So when I create something, I'm the same person before we created Party on the Moon.
Right.
Than I am now. I'm still the same person.
Yeah.
Right?
Huh.
I'm still the same person before I created this house.
Sure. How'd you learn that?
I learned it was part of Robert Fritz's work. Right? Because we're separate from what we create.
Sure.
It's a powerful thing, because what held me back was I was looking for approval from others.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do I look, right? And when I took up golf, and I didn't take up golf until the kids were born, I knew I was going to suck. You're going to learn how to play golf. You're going to suck, man. I've never seen anybody do it. But I was okay with that because I knew that it wasn't about me.
Right.
Now, how many people will not do something brand new because they want to look good?
Oh, this is so helpful. Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
This is helpful for me.
So I wish that I would have learned that, because I would have taken a lot more chances.
Yeah.
Not in a reckless way.
Right.
But I would have done a lot more. Creating. So the number one lesson that I would pass along is my highest value is personal freedom. That people are free to think and do what they want. And I don't give you that freedom. You already have it. Right? So as one of my teachers said to me, it's none of my business what you think of me.
Oh, I love that.
Now think about what I just said. It's none of my business what you think of me.
Yeah.
Because in reality, I have no control over what you think about me. My preference is that you would like me, and people would like the band, and people would want to work with me, but I don't get a vote. So I'm going to give you an example of how I work with this in real time, because what I'm doing now in my work is I like to work with communities and companies on utilizing artists from that community in the work with us in the show. So we do this show every year, and I started doing this probably 8 years ago, 9 years ago, where the first artist that we brought in was a high school marching band, okay, from Kingsport, Tennessee. They just won the national marching band championship. I said, why don't we bring them in and let them be part of the show? Yeah, this would be cool.
Yeah.
So we got 2,500 people in a conference center ballroom for the Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, wow.
The doors swing open, and out of two doors come 120 marching band drummers.
Yeah.
So we go to. So I reach out to the band director. And I said, we'll sound check at 2:00. So have everybody there at 2:00. And then we did a walkthrough. And they were going to march in playing. They were going to go in front of the stage on the dance floor, and they were going to do 2 segments of music that were going to be about 2 or 3 minutes long, very short. And then they were going to play "We Will Rock You," and we were going to start, and they were going to march out while we're playing, and we were going to finish the song. That's how we were going to transition. So we went through the walkthrough. Right now, think this is high school, 8th graders to 12th graders, and they'd never played with a rock group, and I could see it in their eyes. They were scared to death.
Right.
They're playing like this, and you could just see they were terrified. So we went through the first run through, and I gathered them all around, right, and I said, how many of you are worried? Just about every hand went up.
Yeah.
And the people that didn't raise their hand wanted to raise their hand. They just didn't want to let anybody know that they were worried.
Right. Oh.
I said, are you worried that people are going to like you? Went up. So let me tell you something. I said, and I told them this story. I said, you have no control over what people think of you. You don't get a vote. So if you don't have control of what people think of you, then why would you want to try to do anything to make them like you?
Wow.
Which means that you can just be yourself.
Sure. Special.
So this is what I want you to do. I want you to, now that we know that you have no control over what they think, and let me also say that people, for the most part, I think, are predisposed to like you. I mean, I wouldn't say, Jeff, let's go down to the bar. Maybe the band will suck.
Yeah.
We would never say that. I mean, we were going to show up. We want the band to be good.
Right.
So people are. I mean, people want to come to this party and they want to have a good time. So, they're already on your side.
Yeah, already on your side.
And I said, so what I want us to do is run this again. And I want you to play that drum like it's the last friggin' time you're ever going to play this drum, with a smile on your face, and kick these people's face off.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, when they did that walkthrough again, it was like their total orientation.
Oh, wow.
Their orientation toward what they were doing flipped.
Yeah. Wow.
Because they were in a different structure. They were, this is where we are. This is what we want to do. Doesn't matter what people think. This is us.
Yeah.
And they blew that room away.
Did they?
And here's the thing. We've done it every year with them since.
So cool.
I mean, we've done it so long now that some of the kids that were in the band now are guests, and I've had them come and I've had them come up to me and say, "That was the greatest advice I ever got."
Really? Wow. That's awesome.
So this is the thing that I think. When I set out to create a project or do something, to do this with you, right?
Sure.
I asked myself this question: if it was not going to be a success, and if it was not going to bring in income, would I still want to do it? Now that doesn't mean that we don't do things to work.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But if I was going to take on this project like Elma, the Christmas play,
yeah,
would I still want to do it?
Yeah.
And if I can answer yes, then I'm on the right track.
Huh.
Because I don't have anything up my sleeve.
Right.
I'm creating art for art's sake.
For art's
I'm
sake.
creating for its own sake.
Yeah.
We don't. I know you were telling me that you're coaching your kids baseball.
Yeah.
You don't do that because you want payback.
Right.
It's clean. It's intention.
Yeah.
Like when Christ said, when you give with your right hand, don't let your left hand know what the right's doing.
Right.
That was what I was telling these kids. Play your ass off.
Yeah.
Don't worry about what you're going to get.
That's so cool. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. It's an awesome segment. Great nuggets. Some of them have helped me. I can't wait to go home and tell my kids. So thank you.
Keep up the work you're doing.
I appreciate it. Yeah. Thanks
Okay.
for taking the time.